Alright, so we all know that no matter what we do in life, especially in today's world, we're going to be opening a box. Now, like most of you, I carry a pocket knife around with me, but the point of a knife is to do knife stuff. The more you open boxes with a knife, the more you're going to make it dull, and you don't want your knife to be dull. So, that brings us to our array of box cutters here. Now, I've kind of aligned them into things that I kind of use and things that I'll probably never use. So let's just start out with this first one. You've probably seen these. They may give them to you at the job. It's just a tiny little blade, and it's one of the worst things you can actually use to open boxes, especially if you do it all day because of how thin it is. See how thin that is? When you use this over and over and over all day, it's just going to wear, and it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt your hand because it's not comfortable to hold. So, you know, all in all, this isn't something that you can use, and it's also not something that's very safe to keep in your pocket because there's no way to lock it, and it can be open. And you can reach down into your pocket to grab it, and you can definitely cut yourself. So, you know, this one's out. That brings us to the Stanley. This is steel. It's the heaviest of all these. It's very simple to open and close. There's no pocket clip. It is really easy to lose this no matter how big it is. Now, as far as changing blades goes, there's only one Phillips head screw. You have to undo this screw to get to the blade that's in here. And that makes changing blades difficult, but if you get a good blade, you know, you can use this thing all day. You shouldn't have to change your blade. And another thing is, I should mention, with this, even if you want to flip the blade around to use the other side, because every blade has two sides, right? Even if you want to flip it around, you still have got to take the time to unscrew this, so you've got to go find a Phillips head screwdriver. Now, I will say, it feels great in your hand. As you can see, I'm holding it left-handed, and I have no issues. It's got a lot of contact area, so it's comfortable to use all day, especially when you work in a warehouse type setting. Something like this, where you can get a good hold on it, is going to be the best. Well, let's start with this one. I've actually been carrying the Mountain Edge for quite some time. It has a lock, which is this orange button. You depress that button, you push it out, there's your blade. It's pretty nice. If you want to change the blade, push that button down, like so, and then the blade will pull out. It has what they consider a Phillips head screwdriver here, and also what they consider to be a flathead screwdriver on this side. But as you can see, you have the indentations on only one side. When you flip it over, it's blank, and the reason they do that is so they can use one piece of metal, and that allows them to save some money. It's okay. It has a good finger indentation for your hand. The back of it feels nice. It's easy to open. Another issue that we'll get into here in a second is that the way the screwdrivers work, the way you have to hold them, it's very awkward to turn. It doesn't turn, you know, flat like you think it would, because you have to spin it around its axis. To get a flat screwdriver, you kind of have to spin it like this, and it's not natural. The same way with a flathead. Basically, you can kind of like loosen something a little bit, but you know, if you're gonna be using this a lot, it's not good. It's like if you're gonna be in a warehouse using something all day, this is also not for you. Now, these two are kind of in the same line, and these two are kind of in the same line. Basically, this combines the features of the small multi-tool with the big warehouse utility tool, and it turns into this. So this is by True Utility, and I got this from CarnageTools.com, and it's probably the best of all three. Handed. Yep. So all you have to do is push the button, leave it with your finger, flick it the rest of the way open, and it's one-handed opening. Getting good at it. It does have a finger indentation where your index finger can grab it. The rest of it comes around. It fits the whole palm of your hand. I have medium-sized hands. If you have large hands, you may have to come up on it a little bit, but you don't want to come up too far. Catch that with your finger. That would not be good. Changing blades on this is a breeze. You push the button in, you pull it out, you put it in. So you could use your blade all day, and then you can flip it around. Another nice thing is it has a cord cutter. If you ever run into a strap, cutting those straps off with this cord is way easier than actually using this sand. Since we're on the subject of blades, let's talk about blade storage. There is a small cap on the back of this that allows you to store 2 blades. So if you are in something all day, maybe you are cutting a box down to make it fit in a dumpster, so maybe you're dragging it against some asphalt and you're cutting it, this is when having extra blades with you is going to come in handy. And the best thing about this screwdriver, you'll notice that it uses 2 bits, and it's spring loaded, so these always stay out of the way. And I don't know if there's a magnet in or if it's just tension that holds these in here, but these actually stay in here. And even if they wanted to come out when it's closed, they won't be able to come all the way out of the screw without hitting that, so you won't lose your bits in your pocket. An end that allows you to screw. And when you actually use this, you know, it's the center of mass. It's much easier to use this than the other 3. So, you know, of the 3, the true utility is the best of all the worlds, especially for someone who works in a warehouse setting. A little gold in here and see what happens. Well, first of all, it's not wanting to go in. And I already knew this because I've already tried it. There we go. So the Linux bimetal blade is in, but because it has 4 of these ridges instead of just 2, what it does is it prevents it from locking open. So where it would lock open right now, it can't, and it kind of pushes back on you. So if you were to use it like this with the actually super nice blade, and it's going to cut way better, is you'll have to keep your thumb on it the whole time, which is not easy to do. Let's compare that to the true utility. So you push this button here to get the blade out. The Linux Gold Series goes right in here, no problem, and it locks into place, and it doesn't have any issues closing. You can also keep more of these in your handle because you have extra blade storage like we've already covered, which is nice. You can get 2 extra blades in there. Using it as a screwdriver for it being a box cutter is actually really good. It feels good in the hand. You can actually get a good amount of torque on things, so if you actually need to loosen something, you'll be able to get some grip on it. The other good thing is the design allows you to use any bit that you want. So for example, this is a T25 Torx bit, or if you have any other bits that you want to put in there besides a Phillips and a flathead, if it's something that you don't use those every day and you want to use a different type, you can. I've been testing this out all week with 3 bits in it, and the magnet that holds the driving bit in is so strong that you can actually just drop it in your pocket and leave it, and it does not fall out. So I've just been having 3 on rotation because I use a T25 quite often. So that's it, guys. Thanks for sticking around and watching my review of these box cutters. The True Utility box knife is definitely the best among the 3. It is a new favorite of mine. And be sure to check out Carnage Tools and use promo code CREATIVE15 to get 15% off your first order. That's CREATIVE15. Stick around, there's going to be more coming.